Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy, the Lex Man, back up here once again for more wrestling talk. And today, we gonna talk about some AEW and a little bit of WWE because Mr. McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the man with grapefruits and a genetic jackhammer, has come up and taken over the wrestling news as of today, July 25th of 2019. Where this all stemmed was from the recent conference call where WWE discussed its second quarter earnings. And in this conference call, he had a discussion about the current direction, the new direction for the WWE product. And in that discussion, he mentioned his competitor. My goodness, I'm making a video. People want to talk to me when I'm making a video. Oh my goodness. We'll talk later. Thank you very much. Don't be interrupting my streams. Sorry about that. Now, as I was saying, he mentioned his competitors, AEW. Didn't mention AEW by name, but his competitors, about how they prefer to have blood and guts and gore instead of I love this, a more sophisticated product. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read you what he said word for word as reported by Fightful.com. Fightful.com to me is one of, if not the main source for wrestling news that is legit. It is resourced. It is nothing fake. If it's fake, they're not gonna even try talking about it. Everything they talk about has a source to it. It's researched. It's legitimate. 90% of the time. They do get some stuff wrong, but I trust Mr. Ross. Mr. Sean Ross Sapp over at Fightful.com. So, here is what Mr. McMahon said in the conference call, and then we'll break it down with my opinion. And, of course, thank you to Gino Morgan TV for your $2 super chat. And, of course, if you want to donate, you can do so right now with the super chat. Super chats are on. You can also donate using PayPal or Patreon. You can like the video and subscribe while you're at it. If you really want to help expand the brand of your boy Alyx, man, you can do more things. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at DeLexManBX1 and get yourself a DeLexMan t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees. So let's get to what Mr. McMahon said. The following words came from him, and I quote, and thanks for the comments about the glasses. Got me some glasses. Jankies. If you know that reference, we can be friends. Here's what Mr. McMahon said. We're gonna be a bit edgier. Let me try that again. Get my Vince McMahon voice. We're gonna be a bit edgier, but still remain in the PG environment. Okay, I don't have the voice for that right now. I'm gonna read it regularly. We won't come anywhere close to going into another level. That will be something we do in terms of the direction of the content, more controversy, and better storylines. Please. It's not like we haven't been seeing that for a while. At the same time, we're not going to go back to the Attitude Era. We're not going to go back to blood and guts. It came out, I apologize. But for real, that's what it says. Such as being done on perhaps a new, I love this, I love the way he phrased this, perhaps a new potential competitor. We're not going to go back to that gory crap that we graduated from. We are more sophisticated now. It's a more sophisticated product that came from him. But he continues. As far as competition is concerned, the old adage is competition is good for everyone. I think that's generally the case. we're hoping that to the extent that they are competition, they don't continue with blood and guts and gory things that they have been doing, which would be bad. I can't imagine, I can't speak for TNT, but I can't imagine they would put up with that. End quote. That's all he talked about when it comes to AEW and the new direction with WWE. So, where do I begin with this? Where do I begin? Let's start here. Sophisticated Vince? Really? Sophisticated product. Our product is not for the common man, it's for sophisticated people. Get the hell out of here. There is nothing sophisticated about WWE in 2019, in 2018, in 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before you were even born. WWE has never been a sophisticated product. Now, is it more polished? Yes. Production-wise, it looks better than it has ever before. Even better than AEW in a certain aspect, in many aspects, really. The superstars, the wrestlers themselves, have Hollywood, in general, more Hollywood looks. Superstars you can see on movies than you would see in an AEW, perhaps. I mean, you could compare right now. Jungle Boy. Just saying, I love Jungle Boy. I think he's a great wrestler. But Jungle Boy compared to a Zack Ryder, who has more of a superstar look. Exactly. Luchasaurus compared to a Drew McIntyre, who has more of a superstar look. You get the idea. So yeah, WWE is more polished. The problem with WWE, it's too polished. That's the problem. It's too produced. It feels fake. It doesn't look real enough. You know what I mean? It's to the point where we know it's scripted. We know this is fake. And that's the problem. It's not gritty enough. We're never getting that sense of, okay, maybe what we're watching is real. Or even to a certain extent where it's like, okay, I know all that other stuff is fake, but that's real. We don't ever get that sense with WWE because it's too polished, which is not necessarily a good thing. But there's polished, and then there's sophisticated, intelligent. It has a meaning behind it. It could inspire. It could, give you knowledge. It can make you a better person. What the hell are you talking about, Vince? There's nothing sophisticated about WWE at all. If anything else, it's the complete opposite of it, especially nowadays. Have you not seen what's on your TV product nowadays? Like, for real talk. I don't know what's sophisticated about anything we're seeing. I mean, let's just talk about what's happening on Raw. We got guys walking around in a waiter outfit, Baron Corbin, talking about I'm the best wrestler around because I beat Kurt Angle, but he loses every match. We're getting our intelligence insulted more times than not. 2 out of 3 falls matches every Monday. And that's just nowadays. Let's not talk about the stuff we got in the past with the lack of storyline continuity, with no direction with these wrestlers wrestling the same people over and over and over again, losing and then winning and losing and winning, 50-50 booking. There's nothing sophisticated about your product, Vince. If anything else, when you look at the 24/7 championship, that is the least sophisticated thing on your product. It's nothing but hokey, cartoony ridiculousness, but it's the best thing you got. And that says a lot when the thing that's openly sophisticated, the most over thing on your product. Because wrestling is not supposed to be sophisticated. There's nothing sophisticated about the world of wrestling whatsoever. You got two people who want to fight, and the better fighter become champions. So, let's just cut that out right now. You're not sophisticated, Vince. You never was. But regardless of whether WWE is more sophisticated or not, which is ridiculous by itself, this whole talk about blood and guts with AEW. Now, I know some of you read this and go, he's blowing them off. I read and go, Vince, you just gave them an out. Let me explain. AEW, for me, needs to be an alternative. If it's going to be, in any sort of way, competition for WWE. It shouldn't be a carbon copy. And that was the mistake of TNA when it went into competition with WWE in like 2010. Yeah, 2010. Instead of being its own product, instead of doing things different and being counterculture to what WWE is, which was what WCW was, which pushed WWF to be counterculture to WCW, which gave birth to the Attitude Era. TNA turned it to WWE Light, did everything WWE did, the way it did, business and all that kind of stuff, and things just didn't work out. I don't think TNA, Impact Wrestling, GFW, ever recovered. It just fell on its face. Big time. And that's something AEW needs to avoid. The one thing you don't need to do is be WWE Light. Don't do business like WWE. Matter of fact, when I heard blood and guts, I went, awesome. Good. Do that. Don't overdo it. Don't become CZW. That's another thing you don't want to do. You don't want to go too extreme with it. What I'm saying is, do stuff that WWE is not doing. Okay, so AEW has blood. AEW will sometimes push the envelope when it comes to controversial topics. Stuff that people are scared to talk about. Storylines that really hit home. That relate to what we go through on a regular daily basis. Feuds that feel real. Relating to grudges that kind of mirror what we see in society. Like, when was the last time in WWE you got a feud between two guys? Well, how do I put this? Because I'm trying to give you guys a good example of what I want to see in AEW that's different. Well, let me just use one that's going on right now. Let's start with Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes got slapped over the head with a steel chair shot, and it busted him open. People went crazy over it. Oh my goodness! Why would you do that? Why would you take a chair shot to the head that looked so dangerous? To me, I personally think that chair shot gave the feud a nice level of, how do I put this? Of hatred, of animosity that really is needed to make wrestling feuds matter. You need to feel like Shawn Spears tried to end Cody Rhodes' career. And there are some people who got that feeling because everybody was angry about that chair shot, which good. Because now you have, I dare say, you have animosity towards Shawn Spears for hitting Cody Rhodes. Because now you want to see Cody Rhodes get his revenge. And that's how antagonists and protagonists are made. You need to feel like these guys are in danger. And how do you do that? You have to promote violence. You have to get blood in there. You have to make it seem like, okay, what they're doing is dangerous. What these guys do on a regular basis is dangerous. And that is what separates WWE from the Attitude Era. Back in the Attitude Era, when they had, he said it, blood and guts, when they had steel chair shots and tables and very dangerous elements that we don't see nowadays, you felt like these wrestlers were in danger and thus you respected them more. You wanted to see them more. They got more over as stars because they were able to showcase their fortitude, that showcase their characters more in a way that makes them feel larger than life. Because a normal person would. You couldn't pay me to jump off of a Titantron. You couldn't pay me to take a chair shot to the head. You couldn't pay me to deal with the crap that Mick Foley put himself through, falling off a steel cage as well, Hell in the Cells, if anything else, falling through steel cages, falling through rings. You couldn't pay me enough for that crap, and the fact that he did it makes me respect him even more. And then come back to fight and finish the matches just made him even more of a legend. That is how you build stars. You put them in situations that are unlikely to happen to a regular person, and they come out still how they are, or a changed character, something. That is what's going to build new stars with AEW, making things a little bit more dangerous than the average wrestling company. And that to me is they're out. Because WWE doesn't feel special, and that's the problem. Everybody could be a wrestler for WWE. Anybody. Hell, there's a guy, what was his name again? The little boy that was tag team partners with Braun Strowman? Nicholas. Freaking Nicholas is a tag team champion. Nicholas can be a wrestler in WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not... Oh my goodness, $20 super chats. $20 super chat by Gino Morgan TV. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. I appreciate that. What was I saying? Yeah, Nicholas can be a wrestler in WWE. That's not dangerous. It doesn't make me respect anybody. Hell, it actually demeans the product. Sophisticated? What? A kid can be a champion in WWE. I'm just saying, like, how in the world, ladies and gentlemen, is that helping anybody? Because that just demeans the championship titles. This is the same company with Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar and all these other wrestlers and performers who want to tell us that they're in the best product in the world. No, you're not. I don't feel like you guys are doing anything special because it doesn't feel special. Anybody can be a wrestler on the main roster. But with AEW, if they promote their product as a more don't try this at home, dangerous, attitude era-like product where you see chair shots, you see thumbtacks, you see blood, you see women getting pile drivers, people dumped on their heads, people taking bumps ridiculously, and then you see it develop into stories. Then you start to get this sense of, oh man, I can't do that. Oh man, that's not something that I think anybody that's normal should be doing. Which then creates this sense of, oh my goodness, these are not your average people. Holy crap, these guys are larger than life. And that's the kind of light you need them to be. And that's the kind of light AEW needs to go for. So, in my opinion, when Vince McMahon says there's nothing but blood and guts, I go, awesome, good. Appeal to an audience that wants that. I'm not saying go CZW, but show variety in your product. When I think about Jon Moxley fighting Joey Janela on the last fight, it was a Fighter Fest, the last event they had. Not Fight for the Fallen, but the one before it. And in that match, I see Jon Moxley spitting out thumbtacks after falling in a bed of thumbtacks. He spits thumbtacks out. Like, I go, oh my goodness, that's disturbing, but it's also amazing. That's the kind of stuff that makes stars. You will never see that in WWE. And clearly when he says blood and guts, it's to turn off sponsors. It's to make the sponsors go, ooh, I don't know if you want to promote that. Because kids don't want to see that. You know what? Let's be real. Kids aren't and I love this too, but kids aren't the polished angels that you think they are, Vince. When I was a kid, I used to watch Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Hell, when I got into wrestling as an 8-year-old, it was during the Attitude Era with Suck It and Austin holding up middle fingers, The Rock, candy ass and stuff like that. Guys, I got into wrestling as a kid when it was during the Attitude Era. So this whole talk about wrestling needs to be polished. No, there is a way with business that you can be a little gritty and still make money. And AEW needs to find that niche. Don't be like WWE. Be like, I'm not even saying be like the Attitude Era, but be like something similar to it. Be your own kind of entity that appeals to the 18-year-olds, that appears to that market that wants something a little bit more realistic, a little bit more violent, a little bit more what we got during the ruthless aggression and Attitude Era. Not what we got now. I'm just saying. I want AEW to be its own thing. I want AEW to stand up on its own 2 feet. And the best way to do that is to show a little blood. So you know what, Vince? Maybe they are blood and guts. And that's something you should be afraid of. And that's not something TNT would go against either. I've seen some movies on TNT when they show blood. So, screw it. Whatever's going to draw them ratings, I don't think they care. Here's the thing about TNT too. Like a lot of TV networks, they want ratings. They want people to watch them. So you say, I don't think TNT would put up with that. I think they'll put up with whatever gives them ratings. Didn't they put up with you when they... Wait, was WWE on TNN or TNT? I think Raw was on TNT for a short period of time. Let me go back and check, because I don't want to get this wrong. WWE Raw TNT. It was on TNN. Oops, my bad. So it was never on TNT. Thanks for that. I almost got my shit mixed up. My bad. Alright. But it was on TNN, and that was a big network. And they did a lot of crazy stuff. Guys, Triple H, this needs to be said. Triple H had sex with a dead body when they were on TNN. You want to talk about blood and guts, sir? I'm just saying. You have no room to talk to AEW about what they shouldn't do when pushing the envelope. AEW, you do what you gotta do. You do what you need to do to get people to watch your show. Okay? Because best believe I'm gonna be watching. Be a little different than WWE. Do not fall into this trap. Don't become what Vince is, because the day you become WWE light, you lose. You lose. Because necrophilia, that's sophisticated TV, right, Vince? Oh, we don't do that crap anymore. Oh, okay, so you don't do that crap anymore, right? Okay. Wasn't Alexa Bliss naked, half naked, a couple of months ago? Just saying. This is sophisticated TV. I just want to point that out. Just randomly, Alexa Bliss was just backstage, her clothes off, and camera just came in. And wasn't we just zoomed up Lacey Evans' butt at Extreme Rules? Don't tell me we weren't. That cameraman said, bibbidi bibbidi bobbidi, boom, into Lacey Evans' butt cheeks. We were all up in Lacey Evans as you know what. We were like, God bless America. Sophisticated TV, ladies and gentlemen, in 2019. I'm just saying, don't be throwing stones from a glass house. Vince. That's my video. Give me your thoughts about what Vince here said. I mean, what do you want from AEW? Like, I personally think there's nothing wrong with a little blood and guts here and there. I'm not saying go straight up. I'm not saying go straight up CZW. Pull it back. Don't be taking needles and jamming them into people's mouths on a daily basis. Don't do that. I'm just saying, it's okay to get a little violent. We need to create the idea that this is not for the everyday man. These are people who are professionals who put their bodies in the line in a dangerous sport that can sometimes lead to careers ending, and it needs to create that kind of story, because that's the kind of story that's going to build you respect. Not this, we need to be safe, see, Nicholas can be a champion. You can be a champion. And that's the problem with WWE. It's way too polished. Not sophisticated, polished. We need something more gritty. AEW needs to be that grit. And that's all I'm going to say. So give me your thoughts about this subject. Like the video and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. With that said, this is your boy, Alyx signing off. Oh, right here. In your boy, Alyx Man's world. I'm out. Peace.